Okay, let's do episode 4 and see how everything comes together. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for coming by. If you want to, go back and watch the whole thing from the beginning afterwards so you get the full experience for episode 1 and episode 2, by all means, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm glad you're into this. This is, again, I picked this game because it's kind of fascinating the way they do the storytelling. It's not like a conventional horror game type of thing. Okay, let's do episode 4, the last session.
I think that's enough of that for now.
What? No, I wanted to hear it. No, the opening sequence is so good. Stop it.
You're quite fond of this show, aren't you?
Yes. Don't rob me of the opening sequence. How dare you?
Okay, come on. Let's get you down to the observation room.
Am I in a wheelchair?
This place must be starting to feel like home to you. Don't worry. Try and get you out of here eventually.
Under stress?
Okay, are we through in the next room? Just relax and we'll get started in a moment.
Can I do anything?
Right, Mr. Asian, now are you ready? Just hit
Sure.
record on the tape deck in front of you when you're ready. This is subject 12-19-86-23, new session entry. We have myself, Dr. Alexander, leading, and in a room we have our patient, Mr. James Asian. As we know, James has recently recovered from a 2-week coma following his accident. In our last 3 sessions, James's attempts to recollect events of the accident seen him merging his memory with his imagination. These episodes have always ended in panic, and we've had to terminate the session abruptly. Let's try and do this one better, James. So when you're ready, let's bring this back. I know how difficult this must be, but you can do this. James, it's time to remember. Your mind. It's like a conscious black box.
Epilepsy warning.
It can show you your memories. Look into it. In your most recent episode, you recalled a false memory of a remote weather station. You were isolated from the rest of the world, locked inside your coma. We interacted with you daily, encouraging you to wake. Your family would do number puzzles with you. Anything really to bring you back. People needed answers, James. Do you remember?
I have another signal here for you, James.
What?
It's at 5610 FM.
Oh, I thought we were done with this. These are number puzzles. Yeah, so much fun. Hope this one's an easy one. No Morse code, please.
2304. Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This is 20F 12 19 86 2304. Type
I'm pretty sure there's an F in there.
James. You gotta see this. This is 20F 12 19 86 2304. Type in the numbers, James.
Okay. Reports. Okay, what's this? Traffic accident. 2 vehicles, 20F, fatal accident. James Asian. I was in a car accident. Charles Hennings was the other person involved. Arrived on scene to discover 2 cars that had been involved in a near head-on collision. Mr. Asian found lying down outside his vehicle with head injuries. An ambulance was immediately called. His passenger was trapped in the vehicle in critical condition from wounds sustained in the collision. The driver of the blue sedan, Mr. Hennings, was found dead on arrival. It was noticed that there was a strong smell of whiskey from the driver and an empty whiskey bottle on the passenger seat. Mr. Asian was questioned on scene. He described an oncoming blue sedan being clearly out of control, which he swerved to avoid. Mr. Asian's passenger was a sister. The driver of the blue sedan is an ex-police officer of 20 years. His sister's Jennifer. Okay. Is that all I have in my book? Okay, where's my codes? It does say report, right? Am I just supposed to look at the report? Report. Line 1, line 2, line 3. What do they want? But what's line 1, 2, and 3?
Twelve. 19 86 2304. Type in the numbers, James. You gotta see this. This is 20F 12 19 86 2304.
Hey Luciana, welcome to the stream and thank you so much for the stretch redeem. I really appreciate it. You guys at home, make sure you take the chance to stretch when you get to. Make sure your joints are all happy. Don't slouch. Maybe it's from this one. There's 4 lines there. Nothing on this page. Now I can't even get back. Like, I don't think they want me to copy the entire sentence. This calls for a look at the guy. I'm not spending forever on this. Oh. 20F fatal accident. Empty whiskey out of control. Just like the first of each section. Oh, it's the circled parts. Duh. That was not completely obvious. Empty whiskey out of control.
Find the signal, James. Listen to the voices.
Stop making me do this.
You have to face it, James. Finally.
It's not like it, at all. I've worked with Officer Hennings for 6 years and not once have we even talked about alcohol. Drunk driving. He was a father, a husband, he was fine. No way he caused this. It's him, this Haitian guy. He's got something to hide.
Where am I now? So, I'm guessing James was the one who was actually drunk. This doesn't make sense to you. You step out on the hospital ward, but it only seems abandoned. Your vision is blurry. Tense up. Someone else is here. Yeah, go in. Oh. Is this where I need to be? Doesn't help that the controls are a little bit shuddery and the vision's slightly blurred on purpose. Hello? Anyone here? You spent most waking moments in here. Stories Untold, number puzzles. Greenland, Futuro. Hello? Oh. You only caught a glimpse of the room. You guess that's why there's no detail here. Oh. I'm like traversing my memories. Doors are locked, but deep down you know you must get through somehow. Well, kind of like, I don't know, bash him in with something? Am I supposed to take something? The only video they have, some horror compilation. Trash. My game just crashed. Wait, no it didn't. That's weird. It was registering my mouse as being in two places at once. It was on my OBS, and like I have my OBS on one screen and I have the game on the other screen. But I could see after I tabbed out the last time, as I moved in the game, I had a second cursor moving around on the other screen. It's almost like the game's possessing me, because that's kind of what happened in the first game, right? Or in the first episode, and the second episode, where you were like controlling another being. And somehow the mouse must have hovered over my OBS scene and then swapped it. That's so weird. Yeah, sudden ending jump scare. Holy moly. Wait, this door wasn't open before. You grab the keys from the table. They weigh heavy in your hand. Wait, that's the same line from the first game, or the first episode. The waiting area is dark, but you feel a presence right behind you. I see it again. As I'm moving around, I see my mouse on the other screen jittering about my OBS scene. I'm afraid it's gonna like tab out again. Someone breathes on your neck standing over you. You feel dread in the pit of your stomach.
Okay, we have a 22-year-old male just brought in from a vehicle collision. He was awake and mobile at the scene, but collapsed on arrival to the emergency ward. The other passengers died in the accident. I'm getting no pulse. Prepare for defib. Amp charge full to 10 and give me 100 joules.
Am I playing?
Come on, 100 joules. Charge amp full to 10.
Am I doing this? Which one's...
Come on.
Well, that's not right. This one? Oh, not the X-ray. Oh.
Can we get this on the screen, please?
$500? Come on, go faster. At least the other one had buttons for me to move up and down.
Come on, 100 joules. Charging up full to 10.
Oh, 100. Sorry, I thought you wanted 500. I'm sorry. I was about to, like, electrocute you. Okay. I mean, is that good?
Come on, 100 joules. Charging amp full to 10.
Amp to 10. Is the amp even moving? What? I need to turn it on. Okay, there we go.
Clear. No reaction from first stage. Let's try higher. 200 joules. Keep the amp charged at 10.
Great. I love the high-pitched
200 joules.
Sound of
Charge
electronics.
at 10. Let's go.
Great for my tinnitus.
Clear. Okay, we have a reaction of some sort here, a weak signal. Let's keep going. Increase again. 360, charge full.
Hey Ryoku, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by today. Hope you have a great rest of your
Come on,
evening.
360, hurry.
I'm hurrying. This thing doesn't go any faster, Doctor.
Clear. Well, would you look at that? It seems we have a pulse. Rhythm is stable. We need to run an X-ray right away.
The new Trauma Center game looks a
Where are
bit
we with
different
that
here.
X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
I kind of want to stream a Trauma Center game. I want to stream Trauma Team. That game was fun. I'd have to hook up my Wii.
Looks like an intracerebral hemorrhage. We need to drain this now to relieve pressure. Prepare for trepanation.
Oh no, is it drill time?
Switch on a drill, please.
Why do I have to operate the drill that's going into my own body?
The drill, please.
Okay, should I be looking at my eyeball for this one? I guess I don't have much of a choice.
Mr. Asian, you've made excellent progress. You're doing great. We need you to stay calm and try to relax while we go through these.
Where's that going?
We're going to attempt to alleviate some of this discomfort.
You're drilling a hole in my skull. Ah! Not only is tonight New Year's Eve, but tomorrow you leave on a 6-month trip abroad with friends. Mom, Dad, and your sister Jennifer have decided to throw a party to celebrate it all. The house is full. You're in the living room, and as usual, you don't recognize a soul. Just kidding, I'm secluded in my room with a computer outside of the party, you know, like I always do. Look around. The room is full of chatty strangers, mostly friends of Mom and Dad. There's a door to the hall. Go to door. Leave. You push through the crowd into the hallway. The hallway is as welcoming as ever, only this time the folks have put a great big banner up across the main wall. Half-finished drinks are abandoned on almost every horizontal surface. Stairs lead up, although the party is firmly downstairs. Look around. Same as ever. Stairs, door to the living room, and door to the kitchen. Go to kitchen. They say all the best parties are in the kitchen. The kitchen is full of people and loud. There are drinks and food on the table, and the party is in full swing. Dad has cooked a hog roast, which sits proudly on the table, although no one else is eating it. Eat hog. Maybe later. Darn it. Leave. You go back out into the hallway. I think it'd be fun to play more of these like text adventure type of things. Go to living room. You shuffle past people to get back to the living room. Not only is tonight New Year's Eve— oh, that's where I started. Leave. Go upstairs. As much as you'd love to, you promised you'd stay downstairs with the party. Okay. Leave. You need to tell me which room you want to go. No. Look around. Stairs, door to the living room, door to the kitchen. Leave. Go to kitchen? Look around. Alright, there's a utility room. There's a utility room and writing on the wall. Also, Jen is here signaling you. Read writing. Happy New Year, 1986 on another banner. Weird place to hang it. Go to utility room. Oops, not tomb. Room. Just as you're about to head inside the utility room, Jen places her hand on your shoulder. You hug. You're going to miss each other. You thank her for the party. She asks if you're enjoying the party. Answer? She repeats her question, asking if you've had a nice time. Yes. You tell her it's great, even though you don't really know anyone. She tells you to enjoy it anyway, and to loosen up. She asks you to get her a drink. Get her a drink. You pour Jen a drink, and one for yourself, too. There's never an awkward silence with Jennifer. She always has a question. She asks if you have everything sorted out for the big trip. Answer. Oh. Yes. You tell her yes, that you've packed everything with plenty of room to spare. Another hug. Your family have really gone out of their way to make this trip happen for you. It might be what you need to get some perspective, and maybe not fuck up so much. She's going to miss you. You're going to miss her. She walks away. Jen has disappeared into the crowd. You're left standing, nodding and smiling at the approving faces. There's so much to do for this move. Can't mess it up. But first, a drink. Drink. You pour and down another drink. Anything to move the night along. Look around. The room is full. There's a utility room and writing on the wall. Well, what else do you want me to do? Okay. Go to utility room. You open the door and peer in. You're never allowed in here normally. This is where Dad keeps his fine wines and whiskeys. Ceiling to floor racks, a collector. Although he does actually drink them too. There's a bottle with a ribbon round it and a card. Read card. You pick up the whiskey and the card. It's your dad's handwriting. Son, we're so proud of you and everything you've achieved. You've earned this. It's a bottle of 25-year-old double malt. You shouldn't really, but you have to try it. With your whiskey in hand, you take in the room around about you. There must be hundreds, no thousands of pounds worth of drink in here. You really must thank your dad for the whiskey. There are racks of fine wines and the door to the kitchen. Drink? Okay, leave. You head back into the kitchen, clutching your new best friend. You stumble out of the utility room and back into the kitchen. That is one strong whiskey. You take another swig and give the thumbs up to Dad across the room. He nods and winks. Look around. Busy and noisy. We'll need to find somewhere quieter. Leave. You go back out into the hallway. A few bumps and laughs on the way through and you make it to the hall. You stop dead in your tracks. It's Jen, covered in blood. Look around. She's staring straight at you. No one else notices. Talk? Blood is dripping down her face. It's mixing with tears. Talk? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Jen? Talk to Jen. Oh gosh.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
We tried our best, Mrs. Asian, but her injuries were too severe.
No, I don't understand. I'm just talking to her.
I'm afraid Jennifer passed away before we could get to her in surgery. We did the best we could. I am so sorry.
Where is she? Let me see her.
Please, Mrs. Asian, take a seat.
I don't want to take a seat. Let me talk to her. Now.
I'll arrange for you to see her. In the meantime, James is in recovery. He's stable for now.
I don't want to see him.
You're standing in the hallway. Something has stopped you in your tracks. While searching your mind, your sister interrupts. She waves her hand in front of you and asks if you can drive her home. You still feel out of sorts. Those words echo. I mean, no, don't do it, but plot says... Wait. Look around. Doors to the kitchen and the living room lead from here, while stairs can take you up. Leave? You need to tell me which room... Okay. Answer. Go to kitchen. Maybe your keys are in the kitchen. The kitchen is busy. Way too many people crammed in here, but I guess this is where the food and drink are at. The guests are like a set of vultures picking at the roast on the kitchen counter. Your dad is locking up the utility room. Look around. It's difficult to move around in here between all the people on the kitchen table. Leave. Jen points to the living room and sighs as she puts on her coat. Go to living room. Jen, if you want to stay in the living room, that might be great. You're sure your keys are in the living room? The living room has a much more relaxed atmosphere compared to the kitchen. Various guests are sat on the chairs having civilized conversations. There's a coffee table in the middle of the room. Your mom is pouring a drink at the drinks cabinet. Look around. A coffee table, a drinks cabinet. One of the chairs is overflowing with jackets and coats. Look for key? Need to look for them. They must be either in the kitchen or the living room. Oh. Look at table. Drinks on coasters like proper civilized people. You can't see your keys. Look at chair. Friends in conversation. Jackets and coats everywhere. Look at cabinet. Your mom's collection of wines and spirits. Definitely no keys here. Well, I thought it said it had to be in the living room. Talk to mom. Tears immediately start to appear in her eyes. My son, off to America. She gives you a hug. Talk? Leave. Empty-handed, you head back into the hall. You're standing back in the hallway, bottle of whiskey in hand but no car keys. Jen points to the living room and sighs as she puts on her coat. I've already went to the living room! Sure, keys are in the living room. I don't feel sure about that. Ask mum. Talk to mum. Ask for keys. Where are my keys? Oh, look in jacket. You search through all the jackets and coats until you find yours. Aha! Car keys in the pocket. You grab both. Keys in hand, you head back into the hall. Jen thanks you for helping her out. She has work in the morning and no one else is in any fit state to drive. I don't think I'm in fit state to drive. You can handle it though. You know the road like the back of your hand. Don't you? You open the front door and walk out into the freezing night. The cold air hits you. You're glad you have your jacket with you. There's a dusting of snow around you as you step down from the porch. The yard extends around the back of the house, and the car sits at the front of the house. Get in car. You fumble with the car handle, confused until Jen tells you to maybe use the key in your hand. Fumbling with the car keys, you eventually get the door open and climb inside. The car is freezing. As you fumble around with your seatbelt, your sister opens up the car glove box and hands you a note and a key that was inside. She tells you that it's for when you return. What if I read the note? The note is from your dad and reads, "Hi son, I hope you enjoy your break. You'll need to fire up the generator around back to get power and lights on. Also found something in the attic for you. It's in your room. Enjoy." Car's freezing. Both you and Jen have your seatbelts on and are ready to go. It's time to go. No, it's not. Here on the Kirostyle channel, we do not condone drinking and driving. You try to turn on the ignition with sheer willpower despite holding... Come on, game. Use keys, fine. You want me to spell out everything for you? It takes a number of attempts, but you eventually slot the key into the ignition. Start car. You turn the key in the ignition and the car roars to life. Can I just get out? Leave? I don't want to do this. Leave. Jennifer's getting impatient. If you value your life, you had better get her home first. I don't think that's true. I think if I value her life, I wouldn't do this. Drive. The car squeals but stays stationary. Jen suggests releasing the brake, giving you a wide-eyed... Oh, release brake. Yes, game. I'll do everything you want me to, game. You very hesitantly release the handbrake. Drive. You put the car in gear and pull out the driveway like a first-time driver. You really shouldn't be driving. I am driving, very drunk, on the road towards town where your sister stays. Jen started dozing off as soon as the journey got going. This shouldn't take long. You come to a junction. Is it left or right? You can't remember. Go left. You don't want to, but you had better ask Jen for directions. Ask Jen. She grunts and throws her arm to the left. It's left. Of course it's left. I already tried to go left. Go left. You turn the car left at the junction and accelerate off. Confident that you are on the right road now, you loosen up and put your foot down on the accelerator. You feel powerful as the engine roars at your command. Jen sits up in her chair and clutches your arm. She asks you to slow down. Slow down, please. That's not what really happened, though, is it? Oh,
You're
no!
all over the place, James. Pull over.
Jen is hitting your arm and yelling at you, crazy sister. Strange. There's a set of headlights coming directly at you, but really slow, like slow motion. Brake! You try to react, but your body isn't responding. There's nothing you could do to stop this. There's no way to control it. The lights merge with your car. The outside joins the inside. The whole world around you begins to scream.
James!
It was at this very moment, wasn't it, James? The moment you lost it all. Your sister, your parents, yourself. And then you made it worse. Go on. Show us what you did.
He framed the other driver. You wake up in the car. Your world is upside down. Your seatbelt struggles against gravity, trying to hold you. No, go away, alien. Your seatbelt struggles against gravity, trying to hold you in your seat. An impact into another car has torn a hole in the chassis. Poisonous fumes spill into your car from the engines. You're in grave danger. You have to get out of here. Leave. You can't move. Your seatbelt is still in place. Undo seatbelt. Release seatbelt. Release yourself from the seat. Gravity takes over as you slump onto the roof of the car. Leave. You squeeze through the wreckage and fall to your knees on the ground next to your vehicle. Every breath brings pain to your chest. Your head is throbbing. A blue car is smashed into the passenger side of your car. Your life cannot be ruined by this. You're standing holding your whiskey and your dad's note, and flashing lights are approaching at a distance. Leave whiskey. Open blue car. This door is jammed. You don't have time to be messing around like this, James. Unjam door? Oops, unjam door. Look around. Crash site. Smoke billows from the crashed cars to the sky above. Exterior lights flickering on and off. Throw whiskey? You can't just throw that away without thinking. They'll find it and they will come to you. Open door? What car? The other blue car or yours? Open blue car door. Blue car. Open blue car. The door is jammed. You don't have time to be messing around. Smash window. Open window. What do you want me to do? Read note? The note always now reads, "Get through this, James. I don't care if you want to or not." But the note's always changing. Open my car door. Open my car. There's nothing this car could help you in there. You need to fix this before the police arrive. Smash door. I don't know. Doesn't say there's a crowbar or anything around. Leave whiskey? Fine. I don't like how many times I have to use this guide. What? That's all? They want you to write put whiskey in blue car. But I can't put it in if the door's jammed, but okay, whatever, game. Put whiskey into blue car. I mean, I know that's what they were trying to do, but I thought the game wanted me to, like, you know, they wanted me to put the keys in the ignition and undo my seatbelt. I expected the game would want me to open the door. With the lights approaching closer, you begin to hear the thrill of their sirens. You simply cannot go to jail for this. You clean the bottle to remove your connection with the whiskey. You then very deliberately spill the remainder of the bottle's contents into the driver, and you toss the incriminating evidence onto his passenger seat. I mean, I guess this is the 1980s, so like... I mean, I don't know, their forensics should have been better than this. For the sake of the plot, I guess. A circle of flashing lights surround you, illuminating the crash site in the darkness. Behind them, an army of people, all staring. One figure steps out, a silhouette, and walks towards you. So this, like, mirrors what happened in episode 2. Yeah, it's like these input commands... Oh. These input commands are... They're supposed to be open-ended, but at the same time, it's actually not open-ended, which is... It's cool if it was more open-ended, but... Yeah, sometimes I just want my hand to be held and for the game to just tell me a story. Look at silhouette. The silhouette is the police officer in uniform. He beckons you to approach. Approach. Sorry, you're not making any sense. What do you mean I'm not making sense? You told me to approach. Look around. The red and blue flashing lights are causing pain in your head to be all the more severe. Walk towards silhouette. I don't know, yeah, run away? Talk. You try to talk, but you're not making any sense. Walk. What do you mean you're not making any sense? Look at Silhouette. Silhouette is the police officer in uniform. He's beckoning you to approach. Approach the police. So you don't take the word approach, but you take that. As you approach the man, the pulsating lights surround you. Oh.
I know you're tearing yourself apart over it, but no matter what you keep telling yourself, you have to listen to me. That accident, that poor man, me. You have to remember. It was all your fault. I knew what you did. How you left me there to protect yourself. Planting evidence on some poor man. You went headfirst into that officer and you wrecked all of our lives. And then you couldn't even take responsibility. You did the right thing for you and no one else. Save yourself. Only it was wrong, wasn't it?
I mean,
Now, utterly consumed by it.
like, it was his fault, but she was like...
Say it, James.
She was like, no, you can drive. I know you've been drinking, but... No, I'm gonna make you drive, and... I mean, at the end of, like, she was hardcore peer pressuring him. I mean, it's still James's fault, but... For her to say that she has no blame either is a little bit... I mean, I guess she's dead. And this is my conscience probably
Listen to
speaking.
yourself.
It has to end, James.
Do I walk into the alien light?
Do you not understand?
I don't understand.
This episode you're having must come to an end. Make it stop, make it stop. Do you remember? Stop the session, Mr. Asian.
Under stress? Yes, I am very stressed right now.
Go back to where we started.
All of your episodes were recorded to tape. This is the 4th.
Put an end to this nightmare.
Dr. Alexander is always watching remotely. I don't know if anyone else is ever with him.
You can do this, James. You can let go.
Get in the chair? Camera? Sometimes they make you watch your past sessions to see what really happened. Am I not supposed to follow the eyeball in here? Hello, Mr. Eyeball? Mr. Eyeball! Oh.
Well, I think we've made progress today, Mr. Asian. I guess we should tell the police what you've told us. Although I don't suspect it'll take you anywhere. I think you'll be with us for quite some time. Come on, let's get you back to your shows. I'll see you tomorrow.
This is such a fascinating game, and I do really commend them for trying something different with the type of gameplay, and the type of storytelling is really interesting. Obviously, like in the past I've seen someone play this game before, and I really was captured by the type of storytelling, but playing it for myself here, like all the times I had to look up a guide because I wasn't being specific enough with what to tell the game to do, or I didn't want to look up the Morse code or whatever, a little annoying. The fact that the game is also, I mean, you could do windowed mode too, but you still have to like alt-tab out of it. It would have been nice to have like a notebook, especially for all the number puzzles. But on Friday, we're going to be playing Killer Frequency, which I'm also excited for. But on Saturday, we're playing a game called Observation. Not to be confused with Observation Duty, which we have played on the channel before. But Observation's a really interesting game, and it's written by the same people who did this game. And I think Observation is much better. The story is really interesting in that one, but the gameplay and the puzzles and the storytelling devices, I think, feel a little bit more finessed. So I definitely think it's an improvement. So I'm excited to share that one with you, because that one also, again, has a very capsulating story. But I still think this was a good experience worth sharing. It's something a little bit different. Oh. Sessions 1 to 4, James Asian, Dr. Alexander. So again, like, this game originally, episode 1 was a standalone game made for a game jam. And then later they made episodes 2, 3, and 4 and then bundled them all together as Stories Untold. So I'm just kind of curious, when they made The House Abandoned, obviously there's a lot of stuff in there that references the upcoming chapters that come up. They must have planned some of it ahead of time. Like, they must have said, oh, it's going to be something about the protagonist's fault, about some accident. We'll allude to that and then continue it in the next games. Because I don't think they would have written that the way it was without that grand scheme in mind of going back. I do think, again, it's interesting the way they did the gameplay. Like, first, they did the text adventure, which is something that we don't really see in this day and age, obviously, because there's so many things you could write, and only a few of them actually do anything. But to take that experience and then bring it forth into episode 2, where there was text adventure, but there's also all the experimentation stuff, which was kind of cool. And then episode 3 felt like it was too far into that with all the number puzzles and the frequencies and the Morse code and the whatever. I kind of wish some of the voices on that radio were a little bit more clear, but that's part of the charm of it. Plus, having to zoom in and look through the manual like a microscope was really annoying, but again, it's part of the charm. The whole thing is supposed to be like 80s themed with old technology and kind of retro controls and stuff like that too. So I get the vision. So interesting story, interesting game direction. A couple parts where it could be a little bit more finely tuned. Like, even just the parts where you're walking around and looking at things, sometimes it's not really obvious where you need to go or like what you need to examine, what you can examine, especially because they don't give you controls. They don't tell you that what buttons you can press to interact with objects, for example. And I don't know, the weird interaction it had with my OBS, which is kind of odd. For some of the text adventure stuff, I wish some of it was a little bit more... Like, I wish some of the text they gave you was a little bit more leading. Like, when it says... Like, when they want you to... I don't know. There was a couple parts where, like, they prompt you to do something, but then when you say it, it doesn't accept it, even though you're using the key words that they're using. Like, when they said, the officer asks you to approach, and you write the word approach, and it's like, we don't understand what you're saying. And it's like, but you literally just told me to approach. Or... when they are so specific about you putting the keys into the door to open it, putting the keys into the ignition, undoing the brake, and then yet when you want to dispose of the whiskey, it just wants you to dispose of it and not open the car door. So in a text adventure, you kind of have to lead, because there's so many things your person could write, and unless you program multiple possibilities, you're looking for certain keywords, so you got to be very specific. Or even at the very beginning of The House Abandoned, where they tell you to go around to the backyard to turn on the generator, I couldn't get into the backyard. I can go to yard and I can go into garden, neither of which were keywords that appeared in the text, and then kind of eventually made it to the backyard. But it would have been easier if they just said, if there was a command for go to backyard, because it told you to go to the backyard. Yeah, that's interesting too. Like language modeling and stuff like that too would also affect text-based games. Like, I don't know if they could make something powerful enough with like some kind of AI stuff to help you along with that, but also then it would feel disingenuine at some point, right? So it's kind of, it'd be interesting to see if they have more advanced text-based adventure stuff in the future. I mean, I guess if you just want a text-based adventure, just go play D&D or something, I guess, with people. I like the approach. I did enjoy my good share of text adventures back in the day, so it's kind of nice to see something like this in the modern age with that. But I could definitely see why it's a medium that's fallen off as well. You might as well just do a visual novel or something with actual predetermined choices, right? But again, I think this is an interesting experience. I like, again, it's classified as a horror game. I wouldn't say it's horror. There were a couple of jump scares, but I wouldn't really classify it too much as a stereotypical horror game. But again, I like playing kind of off the beat horror games that, you know, not everyone plays. So yeah, we're going to do Killer Frequency coming up next. We're going to play Observation. Look forward to that if you like the storytelling in this game. If we have time next week, I want to play Carrion, and I also want to play Sarah is Missing or Simulacra. I think either of those games would be interesting to do on stream. Still horror themed, but maybe something a bit different than what everyone else is doing. I think we've already had our fill of walking simulator horror because we already played Layers of Fear and Soma and PT. I have a couple other walking simulator horror games that I might want to play on stream, but maybe we'll leave those for later because they're, I don't know, they're more conventional, but I think they're usually a little bit more stereotypical or predictable, right? Okay, well, thank you for coming to the stream. I really, really appreciate it. I know certain parts of this game probably were not as interesting to watch, like watching me fumble around with Morse code, probably not as interesting, or me trying to figure out how to type "go into the backyard," probably not as interesting, but I hope you were entertained. I hope the story encapsulated you. I really like the opening theme of Stories Untold. The music is just really catchy. The whole like 80s retro theme plus all the objects and the sharp images coming into focus, I think is a really, really cool aesthetic. So I'm looking forward to seeing what more this team comes out with after. I don't know if they've come up with other games after Observation, but Observation's a really special one, in my opinion. Let's have a look at Twitch. Let's find someone to raid. Who have we not raided in a while? It's a bunch of people on. Ooh, let's raid Shio. We have not raided Shio before. He's an amazing jellyfish-themed VTuber, and he's drawing right now. It looks like he's drawing a VTuber model for someone, actually. So let's drop in on Shio, say hello to him, and I'll see you guys on Friday for Killer Frequency, or Saturday for Observation. Yeah, thank you. And thank you again for the raid, Alex. I really, really appreciate it. And we'll catch you all next time. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care. Bye-bye. And don't drink and drive.